None of these games in the lower bracket have gone to 3 maps yet. It's just been sweeps week
Oh,
all day.
damn.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
All right, well, let's take a look. We're counting down right now. We're about to jump into things, and we are on BUKSTER's point of view. So let's see what he can do with Straw. Both players immediately delaying their major items. I like what BUKSTER did right there. Just instantly go for the peeker. Get some information, maybe some damage as well. This time around, not much of either, but still, solid attempt.
Yeah, not bad at all. It's a great rail from SIB there to open things up. A little bit of a rocket jump, and BUKSTER's just so sneaky. Big rocket. Nice defensive play there, using that wall to keep space between himself and SIB. Securing the armor down below and looking for a little bit of damage. Ooh, almost followed up, but just didn't have a rail. Now he's making his way over to try and deny this heavy. There's the orb play. SIB taking a lot of damage. Needs to be careful. The chase is on. Will the peeker come out for the frag? No, the rocket, and there it is. But oh, SIB, what a play! Ring around the rosy, and BUKSTER just wasn't quick enough on the peeker play.
BUKSTER just kind of went the wrong way with the peeker. If he had gone right, he probably would have been able to either kill SIB or make him burn that railgun, but nope. He went around the left, peeker came from the right, and that's all she wrote.
47 HP for BUKSTER, does heal back up, and again securing that lower armor. But SIB looking good. Reppin' Kinesis, brand new sponsor for SIB. Always love to see orgs dive into Quake. Everybody should be involved in Quake Fleet, but I digress. Maybe I'm a little biased here on the desk. 1-0 as that rail sails by BUKSTER's shoulders here. SIB looking to extend, trying to get some more map control. Has to make his way back over to the heavy. A little bit messy here. Orbing past the peeker after the rail and plants BUKSTER with another finely placed rail. And he's able to deny this upper shard as well. And another great rail. SIB really heating up right now, Fleet.
BUKSTER currently 0% railgun accuracy. Has only managed to fire twice, missed both of them. Meanwhile, SIB is just showing him all the corners of the room with the rail. 43%, over 500 damage with that weapon alone. SIB absolutely looking in prime shape right now.
Yeah, fantastic start. Pressure, not a thing that he's worried about right now, even though in the lower bracket, like I said, he's been in the QPL before. He's played relegation matches, qualifying matches. SIB has been all over. He's been on LAN, so very experienced here as he's trying to fight his way through the lower bracket. Decent control, up 3. And it is taken by BUKSTER. That rocket just sails underneath him. SIB in a bad position now, up against the wall, has to drop down. Can't land the rocket. The Dire Orb Hail Mary play, but BUKSTER just takes him out. And now, unfortunately, SIB won't have Dire Orb for 40 seconds, and BUKSTER may be able to press the issue.
SIB definitely just fumbled the weapons a little bit, with BUKSTER kind of coming up the bounce pad, holding back as far as he could, so that first rocket missed. And then in the LG fight, SIB just wasn't able to match that intensity. So BUKSTER finally getting himself on the board. See what he can do. Oh, that's a whole lot of tribal damage. 15 points of health. Can he make it to the Mega? He can! Woo! That was so close. Just a tickle of LG would have done it, but the rail comes out just a little faster by BUKSTER.
Yeah, that was an all-or-nothing life-saving rail here. The rockets from down below are absolutely relentless. There's the Dire Orb play to steal away the armor, and SIB finishes with a rail. That was gorgeous.
Oh my god, it is the next major item. Oh, those rockets from a distance. Same thing that happened last time for the exact same position. SIB not connecting with the rockets, BUKSTER consistent with the LG. That's how he got a foot in between the door earlier. Looks like it's happening again.
And SIB is just getting so much mileage from down below. He did it again, finishing with the rail. And SIB is like, you know what? Go for the heavy. It's free frags for me. I'll farm that all day.
This railgun proving to be BUKSTER's greatest adversary in this. SLG has been on point. Definitely able to hold his own there, but the railgun, that's where he's faltering. Still only at 14%, whereas SIB is hitting a tremendous 50. Just the difference is staggering. 40. BUKSTER has hit 1 rail, SIB has hit 14. That explains the difference in score right there.
Absolutely. 1,000 rail damage for SIB. He's hit 14 rails. Meanwhile, BUKSTER's hitting 14%. That one will boost him to 25, but absolutely, BUKSTER needs to retaliate with the rail better. That distance game is firmly in SIB's advantage, and that opens up the entire map and control as well. The rocket streaming by. BUKSTER does land a rail. Potential for another one here from down below. Just missing out. The direwolf comes out so he can secure the heavy. And SIB with a great rocket as well. Prediction rockets and rails really, really strong from SIB on map number 1 here.
Yeah. SIB now full control of the center area of the map. Stacks are relatively equal. And it looks like Mega is probably gonna go to BUKSTER. SIB hoping for an opportunity to do some damage, and LG is good. But BUKSTER responds in kind. Yet after this heavy will be taken, BUKSTER should once again have a stack advantage. Oh!
This boy with the 2-piece! SIB coming up big.
That rocket just sent them flying, spiraling out into the open, free from cover, and SIB capitalized on that massively. Beautiful stuff.
It's just really good prediction, SIB, just knowing that BUKSTER wants to keep testing this heavy here. Nice pickup in the middle of the fight for BUKSTER. Can he finish with the peeker? And he will, but SIB will trade, opting to go straight for the Strog rather than deal with the peeker, saying, I'm okay with the trade, I have a 5-frag lead.
5 frags, 4 minutes. Still doable for BUKSTER, but he's got to start getting frags and he's got to make them clean as well. This he cannot afford to allow. 40. Taking this much damage in these simple exchanges, that is going to set him back by so much. Might even phase him out of the Mega. Yeah, that rocket, that rail. Oh, SIB is on fire.
SIB vicious right now, coming out to play 9-3, knowing what's on the line. He's not ready to say goodbye yet, Flea.
He sure isn't. BUKSTER doesn't want to leave this tournament either, so have to step it up at least a little more. Big damage being exchanged. SIB, BUKSTER both railable. Neither player able to connect a shot. Oh, BUKSTER dodges, making good use of the pillar, and then retaliates.
I like that rocket angle through the grate there. Doesn't get any damage, but keep that one in your back pocket for pubs, Flea. Still down 5, 3 minutes. Good rail there, but he just gives up on the defense of the heavy. And at this point, I feel like he needed to put a little more pressure. Does back up onto the Mega, which saves his life. Rocket's not quite reaching, and down to 57 HP. He's trying to get this upper light armor. And he does. A SIB just trying to get that jumping rail. Just missing out, but BUKSTER's got to put a little more pressure on here. Time's ticking, Flea.
Time indeed is against him. So we're approaching the final quarter of this map. BUKSTER waiting for heavy. Now might want to try and race over to the Mega health where SIB is set up. Oh, clever use of the orb right there. SIB takes away the Mega, replaces himself on the other side of the map instantly. But BUKSTER was ready for it. Good, solid defensive rockets. But 40, BUKSTER cannot afford to be on the defensive right now. He needs to be on the offense, needs to get these frags going.
Decent peeker damage, but he can't find the rail, and now he's got to press on. He's trying to make the jump. He's going to flub that just a bit. It's going to send him packing. He doesn't have an angle. A little bit of tri-bolt on the way over to the Mega, but he gets hit by a rail as well. You're absolutely right. The pressure's on. He's got to start doing damage, and he's got to just start going. There's not much else to do. Missing with the follow-up rail. SIB is trapped. Makes the jump this time, but SIB is ready for it with a little bit of LG and then orbs around. A little bit of misdirection here, and BUKSTER's just trying to find some rocket damage and cannot find any.
SIB's use of the orb has been really solid this map. He's used it offensively, gotten him frags, gotten him in position, tied some items together, but even like that 40. SIB clearly was not hoping to run into BUKSTER right there. He comes through a teleporter, taken by surprise, and what does he do? Orbs into his opponent, does some good damage, and all of a sudden, BUKSTER is the one kind of wildly flailing around looking for what to do as SIB makes his way out of the room and buys himself even more time.
BUKSTER does put up a frag, but with 1 minute remaining, SIB can kind of bide his time, and with that defensive rocket in the stomach, he can just take him out. And SIB just stomps out any chance of a comeback with that play. Superb defense coming out of SIB.
That is indeed going to be the GG. BUKSTER. It's all gonna come down to the next map for him, 40. This is his final lifeline to remain in the Quake World Championships.
yeah, I mean, backs against the wall. Like I said, I don't know whether it's Caster's curse at this point or not, but every single lower bracket game thus far has been a 2-0 sweep. Can BUKSTER be the first to send us to a map number 3? We will find out shortly. Map number 2 loading up after this one will be Blood Covenant. SIB will be playing Anarchy. BUKSTER on the Doomslayer. And SIB's he's looking good. He's looking fierce here in the lower bracket.
Oh, he is. He is. Like what I'm seeing out of him. Map 2, it was the complete opposite, and it was BUKSTER who won. So, let's see. Let's see who lands these rails.
10 minutes, potentially more, for either player's tournament life here as BUKSTER opens up with a rail. SIB backs up onto that Mega. BUKSTER looking for another one. Decides not to, and wisely so. He would have eaten a lob of Tribal there. A volley of Tribal. This dual wield's popped a little bit early. Flame Strike comes out. Will he avoid it? Lots of LG. Unavoidable here. As SIB smells blood, he's going to chase this one down. 38 HP. Flying through the corridor. The LG 2 HP somehow. BUKSTER hits a rail and he's still alive.
BUKSTER actually making good use of that passive ability, right? Regaining some health as the BJ. Ultimately what kept him in there. And SIB wisely deciding not to chase too far after taking a big chunk of damage himself, dropping him down to 65 points of health. Now SIB is the one who's still lacking the railgun. Should have a good opportunity to pick it up shortly, but doing so would mean that he can't make a play on the heavy. And he will prioritize the weapon indeed and just hope to maybe get some exit damage in. BUKSTER takes the bait, picks up the item, immediately loses the overstack.
Yeah, nice patience there from SIB, knowing he's going to drop. Just waiting for his time so he can punish the pickup, make it as damaging as possible. Here's BUKSTER now going through the telly. Rails exchange from both players again. Flame Strike and dual wield available for both players if they get in a pinch. We'll see if it breaks out over the Mega. 10 seconds. Nice rail from SIB there. Ooh, and another one too, and BUKSTER actually makes his way to the Mega. And SIB, did he miss time? I think he was over at the heavy a little bit too long. Goes through the telly, does a great amount of damage and has the stack. Should be able to clean this one up rather easily. But BUKSTER, slippery, got away before. Not this time. SIB able to use the LG to melt him down and get his first frag.
Well deserved for SIB. He came close to cleaning it up several times. Oh, nice one! For a moment there, I thought like SIB didn't immediately catch sight of BUKSTER. Had to do a double take and look back at him and like, wait a moment, you're actually here. But then he landed a gorgeous rocket 100 to the face. Nice rail as well. BUKSTER regaining some of that stack by picking up the Mega that spawned just there at the right moment. But SIB still firmly outstacking his opponent.
I don't want to jinx it, but I have to. It's my duty. 7 of 7, 100% rail for SIB. And there it is. I fucked it all up, Flea. I knew it, but I had to tell the people. Oh, I hate myself. I'm sorry, Chad. I apologize.
Well,
SIB, if you ever watch the VOD, my bad.
Still a very respectable 87% railgun accuracy for SIB. More than just a little respectable, I would say. Now BUKSTER, okay, 44. Still solid, right? Nothing exceptional, but it is different from the extreme contrast that we've seen, where one player was hitting like 60% and then the other was down to like 10%. So much more equal now as SIB catches BUKSTER in a bad spot, traps him between a rock and a flame strike, and secures himself a frag. But BUKSTER quick to retaliate. After respawn, getting himself a frag, bringing it to a 1-point game.
Here's the Mega pickup. Gets a little bit of tickle on the way out as well. So yeah, BUKSTER quick on the retaliation. Able to back up onto the Mega. Needs to be careful not to drop straight onto the LG. It's tempting, but it's deadly. A little bit of rocket damage on the way out here. SIB ready to play defensive with that rocket. The LG to try and keep him out there. SIB is very, very weak. Has no armor. Shouldn't really contest this. As he comes flying through, and this could be a nightmare. The Flame Strike comes out, but Dual Wield also comes out, and SIB just playing around the column and making it work with little to no HP. Somehow.
That rocket was so clutch. That pre-fire rocket saved him right there, but not for that long. BUKSTER pushing through the teleporter, finding the angle with the railgun, tying it all back up. Keep in mind, for everyone watching at home, This is the final map of the series, the tiebreaker, the decider. Whoever wins this one stays in the tournament, whoever loses is out.
Now, since I'm not live on site, do they actually walk the player out of the studio when they lose? No, I'm just kidding. 2-2, almost 5 minutes here. Yeah, they just escort him right out of the studio.
ZSX just picks them up, throws them over his shoulder, and just carries them out. That's
like, you are done now.
It's painful. They're screaming, wailing, crying. ZSX, emotionless, just takes them out. So it's not pretty, 40. It really isn't.
It's not. Very heartbreaking scene at the PGL studios. All tied up at the midway mark. 5 minutes to the end of somebody's tournament run. It's up to the players to decide who, as both players have their ability on hand. BUKSTER stack looking a little bit better. All things considered, even armor in favor of SIB, health in favor of BUKSTER. That rail missing. A little bit of rocket damage into the dual wield. That's going to send SIB packing towards the heavy as BUKSTER gets a free mega and has plenty of time to position for this next heavy armor.
Both players slowing this down considerably, 40, because they know what's on the line. Now heavy up in just a few seconds. Ships will be able to want to take it. Oh, that's a good amount of damage coming out right there. Messy. Yes. Combination of nail gun, flame strike, shoddy. Damage is damage. Missing that rail makes it so that he cannot push in for that mega though. Why? SIB doesn't have rockets. He doesn't have LG. He needs to find a way to get a hold of these weapons, because otherwise he cannot take those fights up close and personal.
Yeah, he's trying to make the shotgun flame strike work up close. He actually gets caught out in a rail in the cheeks from BUKSTER. Now the dual wield SIB's in a bad way, trying to make the shotgun work, and down to 30 HP, getting a nice chunk of damage. SIB down to 50 HP, and the flame strike is back, so BUKSTER has to be careful not to push too far close. There's the flame strike for defense to try and get the mega. BUKSTER's on fire, gonna mitigate with the health bubble, but SIB is doing a great job of staying alive. Next rail will win at least the frag, as BUKSTER's down to 50, SIB down to 25 with a little bit of armor. This is so dangerous for both players, Flea.
It absolutely is. SIB once again escaping by the skin of his teeth. Still 2-2. Heavy is going to be the next big prize. BUKSTER will be able to take it, but loses almost all of it, and oh my goodness, SIB! 1, 2, 3, and sold! Beautiful plays. Mega is up in time. This is excellent. SIB finally chaining together some of these shots, even despite 40's horrendous jinx earlier on. Oh, look at this again, catching with a corner, rocket up against the wall, flame strike finishes it off. BUKSTER, this is starting to enter desperation mode, 40.
It's going to be bad, especially when you're pushing aggressively because of time and you know your opponent has flame strike. At least for 30 seconds, he's going to be free of the flames. But BUKSTER doesn't have the weaponry to aggress from any situation right now. Shotgun and tri-bolt in hand with a little bit of machine gun. He's going to drop down, grab the LG. Never mind, the rail's going to push him out of LG room, and he can't even grab that, and down to 50 HP. This is looking more and more dire right now, Flea.
It is. It is. BUKSTER might not know that Heavy hasn't been picked up yet. Quite surprised by SIB's decision-making right there, given that he was in the Heavy room with nothing stopping him from picking it up. BUKSTER just noticed it. Did you see?
BUKSTER's like, hold on a second.
Back for a second and then was like, hey, oh, Heavy is up. He just spun around and was like, what is going on? SIB just giving him a freebie. If he loses now, if SIB loses this fight, that 40, that moment is going to have been decisive in the outcome.
The rocket is going to be so dangerous to aggress, but he has to, and there's the rail sending him packing. A minute 30 left. BUKSTER will have heavy control. But now I think SIB is ready to start playing aggressively defensive here. He's going to keep a lot of space in between him and BUKSTER, a lot of corridors if he can. There's a rail exchange from both players. That's in SIB's favor, especially now that he hits the follow-up as well. BUKSTER, dire straits right now, somehow dodging that rail, but he's on death's door, but he's also just time is a factor. A minute 5 remaining to try and come back into this with 2 frags.
1 minute left.
Indeed, time is of the essence. And BUKSTER desperately looking for a way to get into this. But oh my god, I love the play by SIB. That was beautiful, 40. So confident as well, right? So many players would have just ran for their lives for this past minute. or the last minute rather, but SIB knows what he can get away with. Expertly positioned, sealing the deal with that one, and now I think we've entered mathematical impossibility with this one. And that, no doubt, is going to be GG. Indeed, BUKSTER calls it GG's in the chat. BUKSTER, representing Latvia, is going to be exiting the Quake World Championships, and SIB from North America is going to continue on. Congratulations to him.
Survives to fight another day, which will be today, another match. But yes, shouts to BUKSTER. Made it to LAN, and that is an achievement to be proud of, but unfortunately his run will end here as SIB took it to map 3, BUKSTER did, but SIB was able to end it there. And the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, like you said, being able to stand tall, using that Flame Strike shotgun, wanting the engagement to be up close. Well done to SIB for not taking his foot completely off the gas.